Hi, everyone. Hello and welcome to this construction domain session as part of the buildingSMART International Summit, Marrakesh 2024. Thank you for joining. My name is Laura, and I will be your moderator today. Today's session is titled Building a Successful Open BIM Ecosystem, Key Consideration for the Construction Phase. The speakers for this session are shown on the slide. The session is scheduled to last 90 minutes, including time for question at the end. The session is being recorded and will be made available in the replay section of the event as soon as possible. Before I hand over to the speakers, I would like to remind you that this is a hybrid event. For online attendee, your microphone will remain muted for the duration of this session. If you wish to make a comment or ask a question, please use the chat box in the control panel. For the attendee here in the room, please keep the background noise to a minimum. And if you wish to make a comment or ask a question, please raise your hand and use a microphone. I would also like to bring to your attention that buildingSMART is committed to ensuring that participation in the development of standard is unrestricted and the process for their adoption is transparent, and standards that are developed do not favor any particular provider and are open, non-binding, and accessible to all. Please take note of our antitrust code of conduct. Now I would like to hand over to Ken.
Hello, let's start the session 4. And then it's the last session of construction domain in Marrakesh Summit. Thank you for joining us. And I guess now it's just after the lunch time. So not many people together here in person in the room. But anyhow, we can start. And it's very the small society, that group here now, so that you can raise your hand anytime. And then we want to have the very interactive discussion. Okay? Yeah, thank you. And I feel many of you are very tired of attending the meeting, many meetings, and then social the matter. So, but anyhow, please be relaxed and then activate your brain and then involved in the communication. Thank you very much. So let's start the slide. So today's topic is the building a successful open BIM ecosystem. And then, as you know well, and then you hear very frequently, the open BIM ecosystem is some kind of buzzword. And then I'm not sure which domain you belong to and which industry you belong. But anyhow, now thinking about not only single software, but a number of software, and then of course cloud services. So how to pick up those from those, and then create the best solution is the very big matter for us. And so the subtitle is Key Consideration for Construction Phase. So we suppose that we are just starting the construction, the project, and then you are the main construction manager. So if you are not the person like that, please image and then here my presentation. And first of all, my name is Ken Endo, call me Ken. And then I belong to Kajima Corporation, very big general contractor, 5 biggest contractor in Japan, not in the world, I'm sorry, but anyhow. And then I've been working for the BIM area for around 10 years. And then originally I am an IT engineer. And now I'm in charge of a BIM IT area. So I'm not purely a construction engineer, but I have much experience about construction IT area. So please listen to my presentation. So first of all, I'd like to introduce the domain. There are many domains now, but there are 9 main domains. And the construction domain is one of the user-focused domain. It means it's very close to a user side, not technical side. So we put much more effort to create the community who can talk about openBIM each other, and especially in construction phase. So this photo is the first summit and then domain session meeting in Jeju in Korea. Someone who attended this Jeju summit, please raise your hand. Oh, Meno, you did. Oh, okay. And Mr. Yajima, my boss of Kajima also. So I guess there's many members, and Yoshi and Mr. Yajima and me and others, Russell maybe in this picture. So it's a very memorable picture. And it was 2016, I remember. Yeah, 16, autumn. So we had already 8 years the history. And initially, we recruit a person to attend this construction domain. So, and then our targeted person is like this. At the center, here's the construction. So construction company is the main, the key player, but not only construction, but the BIM person, and then the IT person, and the IoT and manufacturing. So this slide is very old, 80 years old, but anyhow, now it's the situation is like this. So we, not only construction person, but also many IoT and the manufacturing person are joining. And then we need much more collaboration with other domain. So it means that there's no border at this moment. So this hand-raising mark, I want to ask you to raise your hand. So I want to know which domain did you belong to. So in construction domain, the industry, then please raise your hand. 2, 3. Oh, okay. So IT, no, BIM, purely BIM software. You. Yes, Meno. Okay. And IT. You. Yes, BIM IT. Yes. And then the IoT. So some other, the manufacturing. You. Cement. Okay, yes. Thank you very much. So anyhow, it's the reality, and there's a mixture of the person, join this domain. And this is the main topics that we've been took in the summit session. And then highlighted was the very frequently. Oh, okay. Too close. Like this one. Is that enough? I guess so. Yeah. So it starts from the 2016. Is it too loud? Still too loud? Oh. Yes, I'm sorry. From 2016, And then we can understand what's the trend and the buzzword in this area. So in 2016, we have the topics of the BIM handover and design. And from the 2017, CDE has been the very big topics. And then 4D, 5D, the continuously we took as a topic. And recently, it's much more diverse. And then we should think about IoT and just change the topic, but we should think about creating community is a very big topic. And then this one is some information of Marrakesh and Morocco. And before I come in here, I research on the web. So these three are the very main infra project in Morocco. And then if there is the person who is involved in those project or some related project in Morocco, I would like to hear much more information. But how about you? Is there someone? No. Not many Morocco people join this summit is my impression, but yeah. Okay, so it's just a web search, but here's the very big infra project. And one is highway, and one other is also highway, but railway, a high-speed railway. And last one is a stadium. So in this country, very big infra project is run by government and very big capital from outside of the country. That's the situation. And I researched that many the companies from foreign country join the project. So for a Morocco person, it's very important to think about how to maintain all those big infra for long term. And then it's a very quite good timing to adopt openBIM. And then the IOC-based operational management system for future. So today, I'd like to share very fundamental consideration of building openBIM ecosystem. It's it's from my more than 25 years experience of this area, and I had many very innovative attempt, and then the systems in the BIM area. But if you do not, if you skip a very fundamental step, that you cannot create very long-term innovative the tools or the ecosystem. It's my strongly thinking recently. So that's very simple. There are three functions, and data optimization and process and tool optimization, and establish some rigid management method. So your solution by yourself is very important. Not adapt the system from outside one by one. It's very far from success. It's my opinion. And so first, consideration one, optimize data. So what we should think is this flowchart. Okay, yes. So it's very famous, and then I guess, all of you know this chart. It's the describe ISO 19650, and it's described many years ago. So it starts from the beginning, the top right side, and then it's leftwise. It's round the time run by. And next step is the creating. The first step is creating EIR, Employer Information Requirements. Abbreviation is EIR. Then someone says not employer, but the exchange information requirement as EIR. And it's very important. Initially, we should think about the long term and then whole life cycle data management process, including the owner of the project. And next step, the BEP. It is basically created by a construction company in reality. And then its input is EIR. It's from the owner or project owner. And then the receiving the EIR, and then the construction company start to write the BEP. But it's much more detailed, but much more short-term thing. So the EIR covers all the life cycle of the project, but the BEP basically covers just only the project term. But they should, or we, a construction company, should think about how to hand over the project data to EIR. It means the asset information management data for owner. So the project manager or IT manager of the construction company should think this light green area, but considering about after completion. So this dense green area also. And then the project starts, and then bottom left side, the data volume is increasing gradually in the terms of the construction. And several times you publish the data from the many the work in progress data. So next slide will explain how we manage all those data. But anyhow, this is overall the picture of the data management area. And this one is my proposal. If you think against or oppose or object or reject, raise anytime you can raise a hand and then give me some opinion. But here, this is the timeline from plan to operation management. It's the life cycle of the project. And as I mentioned, operation and management phase, these data utilization should be defined in employer or the exchange information requirement. And then the people who think very long-termly should select IFC as file format or schema of the data in this OM phase. And next, in BEP timing. So receive the EIR from owner and then think BEP as a construction manager. Firstly, the owner's requirement is IFC for operation and management term. So we should create the IFC for submit when the project completed. So the IFC file should be the file for exchanging, and then the published data in construction phase. And of course, we cannot create a BIM ecosystem only with the purely openBIM software. So the native file, such like the ArchiCAD plan file or Revit RVT files, should be taken in the construction phase. And to create those data, we need some design data. So we should think about how to get those information from design phase and hand over to construction. But all those should be IFC, and then it will be hand over to operation and management finally. Do you have any question? Do you understand me? Okay, yeah, okay, thank you. So my proposal, yes, why start from file format of O and M phase is we should think about the exit plan first, and then the very bold and robust data stream flow firstly, not the branch area, but the very large trunk area, you mean. So for long term and during building lifetime optimization is what we need in this creating EIR. And IFC, as you know well, consists of the plain text file is the best option for long-term use data as corporate data asset. So the plan how to create and achieve BIM data through the project is the project manager's role. And how to manage which the version and what the discipline of BIM data should be considered very deeply in the early stage. And first step and next step, the detailed plan. So in early stage, it's quite difficult to decide the process and tool very detailedly. And of course, think about or imagine about the operation and the management process and tool in the early project stage is very, very difficult. So the firstly, think and decide the file format, and then gradually you create this process and select tools for each the objectives. So, so it's quite difficult when EIRBP development term, and then you create the precise plan. So firstly, decide the file format for long-term repository and data exchange. And then I think it's better take the IFC file for this long-term repository and data exchange. And the next, clarify purpose of BIM adoption. And third, select tools and develop process. So back to this chart. So define in EIR also the operation and management, the file format should be the IFC. And then it should be described in EIR. And decide file format first is very fundamental, and then make it easy for the latter process. So there's 4 reasons. Long-term repository is best the IFC is. And it's also good for big data analysis. And then building management, BM, and the facility management, FM. It's quite usable if we can provide IFC file to OM phase. So next, in the BEP creation, we should think about much more the detailed plan, and then the near future plan, not the OM phase, but the design and the construction phase. So we know the many the software. So basically, you have very standardized some software for the also BIM BIM creation, such as Revit or ArchiCAD or some others. So it's the center, and then think about what's the file format for intermediate file. It's for the data exchange, and expand some more the system and the software for your convenience and then your purposes. Yes, and then recently we take this IFC as a shared file and also the published file in each the phases. So next one is consideration 2 and the optimize process. So firstly, we define the IFC as the file format for the life cycle, the BIM data, and then using native data for the BIM creation and the special purposes. And there's the basic purposes. The 3D is for design, and time schedule and cost is for construction, and the operation and lifetime management, facility management is for OM. And someone says the OM includes the 5D, 4D, and 3D, the total, whole of the dimension. But now we just think the operation divided because that the player is quite different. So operation and management phase, it's very long, and then it's owner side work. So we should think about till the 5D and 4D, 3D. So go to next. Next, now we define the IFC as a file format for exchanging data. So next is what's the process and tool and how to create the ecosystem and the openBIM ecosystem. So we should think about the process and tools, how to create. And then this chart is not new, but I guess 10 years ago. Do you know this chart? Many of you know. It's the very famous chart, and I love. And it opened my eyes. And then, so it's cited from the demystify in the common data environment. And it's by the Professional Construction Strategies Group. And it was led by Mark Bew of UK person. I respect him. And then this one showed us, and then it's also described the reality of the data exchange in construction phase. And those round circle of the blue circle repository. And then left side marked T, it's the very smallest circle. It's the local repository. So if you have some hard disk or the PC server internally in your office, it's this one. And then shared by some teammate. So T stands for Team Information Environment. And then upstream, there is the PIM. And the PIM it stands for Project Information Environment. And each discipline, in this case, the design and construction and operation and the maintenance, all those discipline that has the PIM internally in their place. So it means we Kajima own PIM and design company own PIM, and then operation and maintenance company has its as well. And then some data from PIM is shared to center circle AIM PIM. So it's the owner side, the CDE. And if we put some data into the AIM PIM, the center circle, the owner can see, and then it will be used as AIM as owner asset data. So in the EIR, we define the IFC as the operation and management phase the standard file format. So in the right-hand side, there should be the IFC posted from left-hand side the CDEs or the organizations. So it means in construction company or design company, you can use native files. So the Revit, ArchiCAD, anything. But if you put those in public, it means the internally team is okay. But in PIM or the owner's AIM PIM, you should publish the IFC as a published data. So everyone do like this. And then construction company has this kind of the PIM, and then working with some subcontractors and specialized companies. So we do very big, large scale or own a large scale CDE at this moment. And then in the very large scale project, we gather more than 50 discipline BIM data, which is created by subcontractor and then submitted as an IFC file. So we can gather all those and then create a federation BIM model. And then finally, we do some cross-check and then coordination. So that's the very basic structure of the software or tools and the process management in the construction. And then, yes, this one is very important. The data statuses. There are the three statuses. And the first stage is work in progress. The abbreviation, and it is commonly used WIP. So it's WIP, so we cannot share in the public its internally data or like that kind of thing we use. And then next one, shared data. Shared data is basically used for creating the federation BIM model. So each discipline company submit to the CDE and share data routinely every week or every 10 days. And then create and then class check will be done on the CDE. And the publish, it means it's officially or authorized by owner is commonly used. So every month, a monthly meeting with the client that we submit, and then get some authorization with this published data. So the volume of the data, the maximum volume is WIP, and then shared is the very selected data, And the publish is the very minimum data, which is delivered to owner. So we should think like this. So in the plan, the very initial plan phase, of course, there is work in progress data that's shared internally in your team. And then next, share to some stakeholders and publish it. But in plan the phase, its data volume is still not big. But from the design phase, some people joined, and then the MEP and architecture and structure. So there's minimum, the 5 disciplines. So the work in progress streamline runs 5 times. And then they shared each discipline BIM data and then publish some of them. And then after completing a design phase, the published data should be handed over to construction. And it will be the input data of the construction BIM. So start from work in progress and construction stage and shared and published. And finally, all those data will be handed over to OM. It means the owner. And so this is very simple, but it's the category of the data. And we should think this tile, who creates the data, how create, and what's the LOD, LOG, and LOI, etc. And how many disciplines of BIM we should manage, or which data, not only BIM, but the BCF or some the PDF files, which is the materials for creating BIM should be stored some case for explaining some design intention or why we select this plan, like that kind of things, and which version of data and how frequently and how's the life cycle of the data should be defined in each patterns. So that's the very basic the process we should think. So firstly, define the file format very briefly, and the next, the divide the stage of the phases. So 3 the categories, the work in progress, and then shared and published for each phases. So design phase has the 3 categories, the construction, and then the plan, and then design, and then construction has the 3 categories of data. So do you understand me till now? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, yes. So from now, it's ready to create the construction BIM, the ecosystem. So we had defined already that all data workflow and how to manage, and which data and which version, who and what software, all defined. And then the create and then mapping on this, like this kind of map. So this one is very holistically explaining, and then the universal model of the ecosystem map. And at the bottom, there's some classes of IFC. There's the building class, and now there are many, like the road, railway, bridge, airport, and port, and power. And initially, they are managed by IFC, but now there is the very strong schema, and then it can be exported to XML or JSON or some other relational database. And based on those data science technology, we can have the CDE. And if you upload IFC, then we can access BIM data via API at this moment. And now the API also standardized by under the buildingSMART, and the OpenCD API is published, and then many the vendors adopt this standards, and it means that we can exchange data from A to B, so the same file format, and then same the API, and then the exchange the data between CDEs. And when it is realized, the very big potential, and then the possibility there are, and then we can add those BIM technology to the web cloud system by APIs. So now we can use many devices such as the smartphone and iPad, or some glasses and a drone and IoT devices. But this area is very innovative, and then many some conference, or even in this the buildingSMART conference or award, that we can see a very innovative solution. But it is based on the very robust file, the transfer system. So the bottom area, the openBIM area, is very important. If you do not have this consistent data platform, and then you don't have the good solution, the very plain solution of handling the BIM data, it does not work very well. So how frequently the data uploaded should be defined in the BEP, and then if it is defined correctly, we can match or add some drone data to see the progress monitoring or like that kind of things. But if you do not have this kind of the strong and rigid the data flow and management skill, it does not work well. So that's what I want to say here. So do you have any comment? Someone here? No? Are you okay? How about you? I've been talking.
I have many, but
many.
I will leave it for the end.
Sorry?
I will leave them for the end.
Okay. Yeah. So this one is the best practice I want to show you, and it's from the award 2023. So 1 year ago. So of course you can see the newest one today. It's open public, and then award winner is now still under consideration, but it's PS award winner, construction for building domain, the last year. And then it's the software ecosystem of the project. But as we adapt this one to the mindset and then the process, we can take a look first the exit plan. So what's the OM phase and what's the file format in OM phase? And then in this map, it described very clearly IFC, the right-hand side. And then the plot 224 is, I guess, the last final, the CDE for operation and management. And go upstream. Here's the site life that looks plan radar. So it's for construction, and it's so the circled, and then the mentioning this construction, and then the much more the upstream. There's some the MEP and structural and architectural, and there's many software, the AutoCAD, and the Navisworks, and Tekla, Dynamo, Trimble, so many software. But the exchange data format is IFC. So that's my pattern. So define the file format and the exchange file format. And then laterly, plot the software. And if you have many or other the purposes, you can add some the specific software, but not change the file format of the exchanging data. So we can take a look some more from the award and openBIM software ecosystem. It's the infra area, design for infra area. And it's for infra, so Zurich tunnel project. And then this very simple, the ecosystem map. And firstly, the left-hand side, the modeling, the Revit, and Civil for the Vectorworks. And then the file format is a very standardized one, IFC 2x3, then IFC 4. And then CSV and JSON. It's a very consists of the plain text file. And then it is hand over to data preparation area, and then Solibri and Simple BIM. So it's very good at modifying information of the attributes. So you can create a very simple and then trimmed and lightweight BIM data, IFC files, and then put it into the Catend hub. So Catend is, as you know, well, the very old in this domain. It means the BSI society, and then the purely adapting the openBIM API and openBIM standards. So that's the strategy of this ecosystem map. And next one is much more simpler, but I guess I love it very much. It's designed for infrastructure, now finalist. And you can see there's the FM, so the operation management area. There's the output data, and then the file format is the IFC and BCF and land XML. All those are also the plain file text, and then we can use the very long lively for FM. So the BCF and the IFC, so design company gave us those many types of data, but coordinate with the IFC, and then finally we can deliver those IFC to the FM phases. Yes, and the last one, I guess so. And it's the construction for building the finalist. And it's quite obvious that at the bottom, they categorize and classify all those data by status of the BIM. So WIP, work in progress, and shared and published in the archive. So they are very keen to handling the how to manage all those data fastly in the phase. So in archive, they use the IFC and the COBI and publish data. It's in BIM Track and Trimble Connect, but basically by IFC file. And shared, there's the Autodesk Navisworks and then many native file included. And then WIP, we don't mind much more. Just to think about the exchanging file format, what it is. But we can use the many file formats for the specific purposes. So that's the the foundation of the how to create BIM ecosystem. And then from now, some extension of openBIM ecosystem followed by. But if you have any question, I can stop here and then hear from you.
Well, I took note of some topics. But okay, coming back to your sketch where you have the IFC for operation and maintenance, right? But does this prevent that that native software for facility management may also be used, for example? Yes. Because okay, I don't know, I'm not the expert, but in the topic, but I can imagine that there are maybe today softwares that are used for managing the building or an asset, right? That maybe they are not using IFC today, but maybe they adapt. So perhaps there is, I don't know, if there is somebody from a software company that maybe can clarify that point. So what is your opinion about that? Because, okay, you were proposing fully IFC, but
yeah, of course it happens, and but if time goes by, the situation is changing. So if we have the IFC, it's very safe. And then if you create and then deliver some specific file format data to owner, they should change it to IFC sometime when they run through their operation. So, but if it is defined, we can define it in a very early stage, that we can create that kind of native file for operation management. But basically, it's BIM data should be used multi-purposely in operational management, and then we can store all those data for some much higher level management. You mean? So if you are the construction company person, and then if you can store completed data of the BIM as a IOC file, there's a series of the IOC files, and then you can analyze all those data with the BI tools, like that kind of thing, or use a part of big data. So when it happens, that kind of the very plain style file format is essential, the requirement. So I don't think it happens native data for OM, but it's better to have IOC also as well. Yes.
Thank you. And a second point I took note is about the archive. So, because, okay, where this information, or who has responsibility of having this information once it's deliver the project. Construction company delivers the project. So then this information belongs to the owner, I guess, but the construction company also has liability on everything that has done. So maybe has also rights to have the information, but here, what is maybe the proposal of all this information, who has to have it, and yeah, how to be managed, I mean.
Yeah, that's a very good question, I think. But then it's not like the technical issue, but some ownership, who own the BIM data of the construction phase or design phase. And then all those data can be owned by owner or not is a very big question. And then we general contractor create the federation model. So the work with some specialized companies, many companies. So they submit their BIM discipline, but who own those data is, or some copyright of the data is, it depends on some contract or some law in your country. So it's very complicated, and then I guess we should discuss in regulatory room maybe.
Yes. Yes, it's true. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Do you have any question or some good answer for ownership of the...
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, very cool. Yes.
Is it okay if I and also Ricardo make some comments?
Yes, please. Very cool.
Okay. If I may just, so thank you for this presentation, very informative. If you may go and show slides again, I would like to ask a few questions and a few comments and ideas how certain things can be done. So if you, maybe Laura, if you can share the slides, I would like to go back to what, when you said IFC and in general, I would like to say that since my background is also IT, I never saw such a complex hierarchy and structure like we have in a construction project. So by far, that's my opinion, one of the most challenging, or even the most challenging in terms of implementation of digital data on construction project is. So I don't know any other industry where we have that level of complexity. So because of that, I would like to just mention several things, what hopefully we could, if you can go back to a couple of slides back, when you started with IFC, I would like an implementation in each stage, and then you mentioned operation and maintenance stage. So one of the, I think, third or fourth slide was. So just to tell you what, go back, if you can, for a couple of slides more. When you had this, even more, so when you had this IFC in 4 stages, last was operation and maintenance, even before that. Okay, this one is fine. So just to tell what are, and I hope this will change in IFC 5, what is the current situation? So first of all, we have a situation that, of course, we have to be aware that there is not full semantics in IFC. So that's why we need sometimes a native file, because those native tools has the full semantics, which we don't have in pure IFC files, and these things are changing and move to the better in the future. So the challenge is first operation and maintenance. Although we consider this as a static situation, it might not be. So we might have renovation. So when we finish the modeling, we still might need to change some things in the future. So this is the first thing we have to be aware of. The second is that we still do not have incremental models, which I honestly believe is necessary, and I would like to hear your opinion of the others, how to solve this. So just a small use cases, I change one wall, width for, I don't know, from 10 centimeters to 50, I need to update entire BIM IFC file, and this is not very efficient. So it would be much, much better if we in the future develop incremental, clear incremental model, which will describe what are the changes. So that's the first thing I believe we all need, and there are the tools which can do this, and it would be best if we can do this within IFC. The second thing is what's also very important, my opinion is there are three things related to IFC. So one is properties. We don't need all the properties all the time. And that's something, I just give you an example on this football stadium I showed before and yesterday. On some elements, the original IFC file had more than 200 properties. I can name it to you, but I believe most of the things, even we who are in this world for a long time, we don't know what their purpose is. And we pass them without checking the necessity to use them. So first thing I honestly believe is, and that's what we are trying always to do in our tools, to reduce the properties just to those ones who are really necessary for certain use cases, not load all of this and all the time. A second is geometry optimization. So I showed the case where one chair for football stadium contained 227,000 triangles. And when you reduce it to 800, we as the humans cannot notice the difference. And this is almost 1,000 times, or let's say 250 times reduced geometry, and that's why we allowing, let's say, our tools to reduce geometry, sometimes even to oriented bounding box, because we would like to analyze the things and not spend entire time loading and downloading the models and uploading and so on. It's so complex, it takes so much time, and it requires powerful machines, and sometimes on the side we don't have it. So my suggestion is also, and it is the vision of IFC5, to have several geometries attached to the single element. So I can load schematic model, or I can load the perfect model for rendering purpose. And the third thing is also how to organize, how we are organizing the model. So yesterday in one neighboring country, one ministry on the largest project, they had issues. They wanted to upload 4 gigabytes in a single IFC file and to analyze everything in a single IFC file. And there were some issues that the internet was, as usual, not very good, and it took them a lot of time just to upload this. And then there was a situation that the people cannot download the file because it's 4 gigabytes. So what we honestly believe that with intelligent slicing of the models to submodels, we could really load only the information we need at a certain time. So for example, we are tracking the progress, we are on the first floor of one building, and we are just in a complete works at the moment. So why we cannot load just a small chunk of the model and enter the progress, send back in a very efficient way, instead of loading basic, dependent on how designer defined the model, because maybe he did structural design for 5 buildings in a single IFC file. And added some properties for, I don't know, moment of course, which is useful just for a structural engineer, and really when I'm checking the progress, I really don't need 30 properties related just to the structural forces in the project. So I just wanted to just ask you, Ken, or Ricardo, or Jorge, what's your experience in this area, and what are your thoughts on how you solve these issues, and how you believe the IFC can help us in this area?
Berko, sorry. The quality of my audio was horrible. I didn't understood the question. Sorry.
So my question was, what are your thoughts, Ricardo? I know you have excellent system in Ferrovial. You are dedicated to efficient data management. So how you deal with this huge amount of data, and what are your thoughts in terms of efficient usage of data? So let's say on the site, or I'm the project manager, I would like just to see one thing and not to be dependent on the pure original IFC file. So what are your thoughts and solutions for this?
How to manage the data, you mean?
Yes, how to efficiently manage data. Yes.
Yes. There is, every time as Ken has been showing, we have more and more platforms and more solutions. openBIM is a great way to collect those data, and OpenCDE will be a great way to collect and integrate those data. But we need third-party solutions to manage that amount of data. What we are trying to do is replicate or connect data from different sources with open standards in order to have them in a data lake, and try to generate data sets to take advantage from them in BIs. But the usual problem, from my point of view, is that we usually attack in a project level. So we manage all the software map or the openBIM strategy in a software in a project level, and it is important to think in a company level if you want to take advantage of all those data. As Ken has been showing, all the data from operational maintenance can give you a lot of value in design if you are talking in the same language, in the same standards, so you can collect data from operational maintenance in order to do a better design in future. I don't know if I answered your question, Velko.
Thank you.
Velko, I would like to comment something, because, okay, I think at the end of the day, you mentioned, there is information that is going to be relevant for certain stakeholder in the process. Okay, but just imagine that you are in operation and maintenance, you have an issue, and then you discover that it's a problem of, I don't know, design. You will badly design a part of the structure. So then you may go back to the design phase and find out the information that was delivered or related to this specific, I don't know, part of the structure or the building. And then at that point, you will need to retrieve information that it is not relevant for operational maintenance at this time, but it was relevant at the beginning in the design phase, maybe 2 years ago, but now maybe in a legal problem, it might be needed. So then all that information is, must be available, let's say. But okay, I don't know how.
If I may say, okay, that's a very good point. So what I wanted to say, the data has to be present somewhere, but also, as Ricardo mentioned, we need, and Ken showed in his slide, we need basically more CDs or data storages. So we don't need to use all of them at the same time, but we are, let's say, basically we are IFC grid. We need to connect this information. So what your question is very good. So essentially, in 99% of the time, I just need to learn a simplified fit for purpose model in order to do certain things. But of course, if claim is happening, or we want to go back and check if reinforcement was properly done, then we connect our data, or we should be able to load all the information, even the photos from the site, to check what was the situation when certain things was installed. But what I'm suggesting is that in a number of cases, we don't need to load all data. And I just go back to my case. So yesterday, literally on one very large project in a neighboring country, they had a situation issue load 4 gigabytes of IFC file because everything was stored by designer in single IFC file. And they just wanted to check some ordinary things in underground level of the building and just structural works. And then because they're our friends and we collaborate, my answer was why you cannot slice and organize data in a proper way so you can load just the data you need, and it will be much more efficient. So that's what I'm referring. But very good point, Jorge. In reality, and that we all agree, we need to have a lot of data storages. But the connection is very important. Let's say like a grid maintenance and so on. Just to mention one example, we have now ability to slice the elements in the model, but the question is how you will maintain in a new version grids for all elements which are generated from a single bit slab. So this has to be, that's my opinion, until it's not solved, we are not talking about fully integrated work.
Yes. And one thing, now with generative AI, we can search or find or do queries to all the data that you have. The only thing is that you need that data connected in an open way, not in a proprietary way. But with generative AI, it's really simple to find whatever you want, wherever, in any place, even if it is not directly connected.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, anyhow, the time is limited, and we have some comment from in the room. So could you introduce this? Can I? Yes, Kazumi. Yes, my boss. The post the comment, and it was a good presentation. Thank you. And just wanted to ask, there was no mention of generative AI, image-based AI, or BIM AI anywhere. But I feel like these technology will completely change things in a few years. What are your thoughts? It would be better to consider this aspect together from the next time in Singapore. Yes, thank you very much. And then, yes, I agree with you, my boss. Thank you very much. But anyhow, there's some more slides. And then if I explain and then close this session, that you can understand much more deeply. So come back to the slide. Yes, and then I finalized this from here, and then we see this slide, and then the last one, the extension of openBIM ecosystem. So till now, I explained the very fundamental, and then its internal, the BIM areas ecosystem. But if we adopt AI or some generative AI, it's not purely in this domain, the things. AI is the big possibility. And then ChatGPT, it's very generally used to digest some document or text. But now we wanna try to generate some IFC or BIM data by AI is the next challenge. But not all of us can get into this area, is my opinion. It's a very innovative area. And then the game changer will create very strong or the standardized system of AI BIM or like that kind of thing. There's some possibility in your future. But even it happens, this kind of the basic style, the data management skill, and then the process management is necessary. It's the foundation of the BIM area. And then it is needed in the construction management is my opinion. So I want to finalize. So the next extension is not purely in the BIM area, but other collaboration. We need much more collaboration in other domains, such as AI domain. So there are some big AI giant, openBIM or the Microsoft Copilot, like that kind of thing. So it's a newcomer, and then we will shake hands with those giant or the new ventures also. So finally, the BIM data will be, is it shared here? Oh, okay, yes, I'm sorry. And then in CD, the extract to, and then the transfer to data lake. And then it will be a part of data. And then if we adopt some machine learning or some generative AI, we can use or to create much more data in the few time and short time, and much more intelligent data, and just one click or so. But anyhow, what I think is the many things happen, and we are very congested and then confused, is what I'm thinking. So to start from the very basic, and then try into the innovation area is my suggestion. So the data process tools optimization is very foundation area. And then next, some much more integration, and then much more collaboration with other systems, such like the real-time monitoring, remote site and management or automation, and then robotics, and also including the AI is the innovation area based on this foundation. Yes, that's the end of my presentation. Yes, this one is option, but there's not many person from Morocco, so I trim this several slides, so it's the end. Thank you very much. And it's the time, I guess so.
If anybody has a question or comment regarding what has been presented. Okay, if not, okay. Thank you very much for attending. Thank you, Ken.
Yes.
Very interesting as presentation
Yes.
and discussion.
Yeah, it's very enjoyable, and I hope you enjoyed. And then continuously join this kind of activity of the construction domain. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and also thank you, Verico and Ricardo, for joining. And then see you next time.
No, thank you very much.